On the 13th of April, 1970, 3 astronauts are on their way to the Moon. Their mission, to land on the Moon and return safely back to Earth. But no one would know that this flight would take a dark turn, unfolding one of the most dramatic rescue missions in all of human history.
13, we've got one more item for you when you get a chance. We'd like you to stir up your cryo tanks. In addition, I have shaft and trunnion. Okay. Or look at the counter minute if you need
Before the mighty Saturn V rocket can get people to the Moon, it still needs to be stacked into perfection. Workers at the Vehicle Assembly Building here at the Kennedy Space Center are busy, gently stacking the 3 stages of the Saturn V rocket that will be used on the upcoming Apollo 13 mission. Now that the rocket is complete, it will be waiting for almost a year before it could finally roll out. The crew of the Apollo 13 consisted of 1 veteran and 2 rookie astronauts. The commander, Jim Lovell, flew on 3 space flights before. Gemini 7, which performed the first rendezvous with another crewed spacecraft in orbit. Gemini 12, and Apollo 8, which was the first crewed mission to orbit the Moon. The Lunar module pilot, Fred Hayes, was a US Marine Corps fighter pilot where he accumulated over 9,300 hours of flying. At NASA, he served as the backup lunar module pilot for both Apollo 8 and Apollo 11 missions. The command module pilot, Jack Swigert, was also a fighter pilot, but was under the United States Air Force. Over his career in the Air Force, he accumulated over 7,200 hours of flight time. At NASA, he became specialist of the command module, and he served as the capsule communicator, or CAPCOM, of the first Apollo flight. One month before the launch, the mighty Saturn V rocket for the mission is now finally revealed. The rocket will travel more than 5 kilometers to Launchpad 39A, where it will be set for launch.
T-minus 20 seconds and counting. 17, guidance release. 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8. Ignition sequence has started. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. And we have liftoff at 2:13. The Saturn V building up to 7.6 million pounds of thrust. Then it has cleared the tower. Trajectory's good. Thrust is good.
Roger. Capcom Joe Kerwin confirming to the crew that the second stage looks good at this point. We're now 46 miles high, 78 miles downrange.
Tower jet. We confirm skirt sep, roger. Tower jet, mode 2, Jim, looking good.
Mode 2. Status now from his flight controllers.
13 Houston, you are go for staging.
13, roger, go for staging.
Apollo 13 Houston, stand by for mode 4 capability. Mark, you have mode 4, Jim.
Mode 4, roger. Staging. And level report staging. And S4 ignition, Houston.
Roger that, Jim. Thrust looks good.
Roger.
Houston, you're looking good. Trajectory, guidance, CMC are all go.
Thank you, Joe. And at 10 minutes 30 seconds, we are now 102 miles in altitude, 1,080 miles downrange. Well, we've had loss of signal now through Carnarvon. And Capcom Joe Kerwin has just put in a call through one of the Araya aircraft.
Okay, Jim, it's not the best, but we're reading you.
Roger. Telemetry data here on the ground indicates that the spacecraft has separated from the S4B. Astronaut Jack Swigert at this time would be in the commander's couch, the left-hand couch, at the controls of the spacecraft during the transposition and docking maneuvers. And we should be getting television transmissions from the spacecraft beginning at about 3 hours 15 minutes ground elapsed time.
That's a good picture, Fred.
Yeah, we're just about there. About 10 more feet now.
Roger.
Everything looks pretty good down in the S4B to the shroud still looks intact down there.
Good deal. There's really quite a bit of detail in this picture.
Okay, we've got 2 barber poles.
Houston, roger.
The launch, the lunar injection burn, and the docking of the Apollo CSM to the lunar module are now complete. Now it is time for the Apollo 13 crew to head to the moon. The second day of the mission went relatively smooth, with the only major milestone was a mid-course correction. The beginning of the third day went smooth as well, with mission control starting to get bored. The crew entered the Lunar module and made a TV broadcast. If you want to learn more about the Apollo 13 mission, you can visit the Apollo 13 Flight Journal or the Apollo 13 in Real-Time website. Both the links are in the description. A few minutes after the TV broadcast ended, an event would change the course of the fate of the crew on board.
We've got one more item for you when you get a chance. We'd like you to stir up your cryo tanks. In addition, I have a shaft and trunnion.
Okay.
Or look at the Comet Bennett if you need it.
Okay. Stand by.
Overhead hatch is closed and the heater current looks normal. Okay. Fine, guys. Go, guys.
This is Houston. Say again, please.
I don't know what it was. Okay. You want to look at it?
Yeah. Houston, we've had a problem.
Roger, we're copying it.
We've had a main B bus undervolt.
Roger, main B undervolt.
There, guys. Or, down. Negative flight. I believe the crew reported. Okay, flight. We've got some instrumentation flight. Let me add them up. Roger.
Okay, stand by, 13. We're looking at it.
We may have had an instrumentation problem, flight. Roger.
With the command module crippled, the crew is ordered to evacuate to the Lunar module by mission control. The command module is shut down, and the Lunar module becomes Apollo 13's lifeboat. The moon landing mission is aborted. Their mission is now to come back home, alive. In order to achieve a free return trajectory, the crew fired the Decent Propulsion Stage, or DPS. This was the first time the Lunar module was used for this kind of correction.
A survey of your displays on MDCs 1 and 2.
72 degrees. The ran out about...
The crew has reached the moon, although they would not land on it. Upon reaching Pericynthion, the crew of Apollo 13 has achieved the furthest distance from Earth ever traveled by humans ever, at 400,000 kilometers. After leaving the far side of the moon, the crew performed another mid-course correction. This time, in order to shorten their return time by 12 hours, and also to make sure that they land on the Pacific Ocean. At the 5th day, the spacecraft has reached midpoint through its way back to Earth. Another DPS burn was performed in order to keep the spacecraft from drifting off course. The crew has ran out of drinking water, and the command module was powered up in preparation for landing. To make their landing more precise, a course correction was made using the Lunar module's Reaction Control System Thrusters, or RCS. After the course correction, the service module was finally jettisoned, and for the first time, the crew can view the damage that almost cost them their lives.
We've gone ahead and computed the CSM Apollo control.
An hour before the landing, the crew undocked from the Lunar module, bidding farewell to their lifeboat.
At present, we're now feeding a downrange picture of the recovery on the NASA closed circuit television circuit. Further report from recovery. All recovery. We have about a minute and a half to go during this period of blackout.
has been flashed up on one of our large screens for all of the flight controllers to watch. We have about 1 minute to go now from time of end blackout.
After 5 days, 22 hours, 54 minutes and 41 seconds, the crew of Apollo 13 has finally come home, bringing an end to the mission that will be known as NASA's successful failure.
Apollo 13, this is recovery, over.
I hope you enjoyed my video. Please like, subscribe and share to your friends to help grow my channel. See you next time.